to the CSS module. So I hope so you are already very excited with the last video that came. Okay, so in this particular lecture we are going to study about CSS backgrounds. Okay, what we have learned in the previous lecture, we have learned something about external and internal CSS and then the types of the styling. And from this lecture we are continuing to the other topic that is CSS background. So इस पूरे वीडियो में हम लोग CSS बैकग्राउंड के बारे में समझेंगे कि व्हाट आर द CSS बैकग्राउंड्स. हम लोग किसी एलिमेंट, किसी डिव या किसी डॉक्यूमेंट पे अगर हम लोग को बैकग्राउंड में कुछ कलर या कुछ इमेज या कुछ इफेक्ट टाइप का लगाना होता है तो उसे कैसे समझेंगे या उसे कैसे करेंगे. ऑल्सो एक और चीज़ आप सीखोगे इसमें कि जैसे मान लो आप लोगों ने देखा होगा जो कलर्स होते हैं, ठीक है, तो अब जो कलर्स की थ्योरी होती है कि किस टाइप का कौन सा कलर होता है, हेक्स कोड क्या होता है, एंड the things like RGB values. So all these things are going to be covered in this video. So stay tuned and let's just walk to the video. Okay, fine. So as we have previously discussed that this is going to be the lecture regarding the CSS backgrounds. So let's start. Also, the things are going to be like the previous video that once I speak in English, तो उसके बाद मैं हिंदी में भी बोलूँगा. So what? All type of जनता is going to be okay with the video, right? And they have to be understand what other things are going on in this particular video, right? Okay. So without wasting any time, let's start. So what is actually a CSS background? So what is a background? Right. So background is something. So let us suppose if you are standing leaning the wall, अगर तुम एक दीवार के सारे खड़े हो तो तुम्हारा बैकग्राउंड क्या हुआ? वो दीवार हुई. ओके, सेम एज दैट वो जो हमारा HTML डॉक्यूमेंट होता है ना, द HTML डॉक्यूमेंट दैट वी आर हैविंग, सो व्हाट इट कंटेन्स सम एलिमेंट्स. इट कंटेन्स HTML एलिमेंट्स, राइट, इन द फॉर्म ऑफ टैग्स. so HTML एलिमेंट्स होते हैं उसके पास किस फॉर्म में? टैग्स के फॉर्म में. तो हमको उनका अगर बैकग्राउंड सेलेक्ट करना है या बैकग्राउंड सेट करना है, सो फॉर दैट वी यूज CSS backgrounds. Okay. Now, so for setting the CSS backgrounds, we have numerous properties because we know that CSS is something that is a combination of property and value. CSS क्या है? CSS एक combination है किसका? Property और values का. So background set करने के लिए, for setting the background, we have the different what? Yeah, different properties. So what are these properties for the background? In backgrounds के लिए वो properties क्या है? So पहली है background color, background image, background repeat, background attachment and background position. So same as that, it is just an overview. Now we will go to the editor. तो हम लोग इसके बाद editor पे जाएंगे. So that first I will give you the practical of what we are doing and then I will set to you or I will explain you the theory. फिर उसके पहले हम लोग ये करेंगे, फिर पहले हम लोग practicals करेंगे, right? Because it is important and then we are going towards the theory. Okay. So what I am doing, I am just opening my Visual Studio Code. So मैंने यहाँ पे क्या कर रखा है, मैंने यहाँ पे एक फोल्डर बना रखा था CSS background. If you remember, we have learned tricks in CMD command prompt that how to make folder. CMD में सब सीखा हुआ है. So अगर अभी भी आपने नहीं देखा तो दोबारा वाला वीडियो देख लीजिएगा जाके. Right. Now let's start. So in this particular folder, what I have done, I have made an index.html and a styles.css. And I am having nothing in both the files. So both the files are empty. So let's start. So firstly, I want a boilerplate code. मुझे सबसे पहले एक boilerplate code चाहिए. Then I change the title to CSS backgrounds. Okay, this is the thing. And let us suppose let's have a heading of H2 CSS backgrounds tutorial. Okay, and after this let's have a paragraph tag. Yeah, we are learning the CSS backgrounds. Okay, now what we want to open it with the live server. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open it with the live server. So I'm right click on this document and as you can see that my server is started at port 50500. So I'll open a new tab, and in the new tab what I have to write? Remember? Yeah, localhost and then colon 5500. That is the default port number for the Visual Studio Code or the live server. ये default port number होता है. So if I hit enter, तो मुझे कुछ दिखना चाहिए. या कुछ ऐसा ही दिखना चाहिए था. So अब मैं क्या करूँगा? I will move here so that the things are going to be clear to you. Also, I'll do one thing. I'll increase the font size for the sake of the basis that if you guys are going to be stuck, or the thing is that the content should be clear to you, right? You should able to see everything. Okay. Now I think so that you are going to able to see the things. Okay. First of all, let's connect our style sheet with this HTML. सबसे पहले हम लोग इस style sheet को connect करते हैं. So I will write style. Sorry, for that particular thing we want link tag, and I have shown you the shortcut what link colon css, and you will, if you hit enter, directly it will do the thing. And as you can see, my file name is style.css, and here also the in href I am having style.css, so it is now connected. Now for trying basis, let's try something. So what I want, we want the color of what, of this h2 to be something different. So let us have h2 select and give it a color of blue. So if got changed to blue, yeah, it is working. As you can see, it is working. Okay, I'm just zooming it out a little bit so that it will be more clear to you. Okay, fine. Now the first property is what? The first property is background color. So let's understand what is background color. So if I write background color, so it gives me suggestion, right? Background color is something that tells that you want to set a color in the background. Okay, so let's give a color of yellow, and as you can see that now the background color of this h2 has been setted out. Okay, cool. Now let us try to change the color of this paragraph tag. So inside this style sheet, I will select this paragraph tag, and I will write background color to be somewhere around light blue. Sorry, light cyan. Light cyan will be okay. So as you can see, its background color is also changed. Okay, so this is the thing of the background color, right? Now what I have done is that this is the hard coded color. मतलब मैंने इसको सीधे सीधे से value दिया है, given the name that is yellow. But what if we want something different? So we are having something which is known by the name of hex values. So I'll show you. Wait a minute. Yeah, inside this color. So I will write color values. So पहला होता है, the first one is hex values. Okay, and the second one is going to be RGB. The main things are these. Okay, so now let us understand how we are going to write it. So let us suppose if I override this property, मैंने इसको दोबारा से लिखा, यहाँ पे hashtag लगाया और उसके बाद कुछ कोड डाला, like hex means 6, hex means 6, so something 6 that can be a combination of A to E and 0 to 9, 0 से 9 का और A से E तक का कोई भी कॉम्बिनेशन हम लोगों ने बनाया. तो मैंने कहा 3A2154. So it is going to be a color, and तुमने देखा कि ये कलर है, राइट? ऐसे ही फिर तुमको एक कलर वी टाइप में मिल जाएगा. इसमें तुमको जो कलर सिलेक्ट करना हो इस हिसाब से सिलेक्ट कर लेना, और जैसे मैंने ये सिलेक्ट किया, और एज यू कैन सी इट इज नाउ अप्लाइड. इसको थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा डार्क कर देते हैं क्योंकि लाइट पे डार्क अच्छा लगता है. या दिस इज कूल. This is now cool. So this is called as hex values. Now let's move to something different, that is background color. And what we now want now, we want something called RGB value. So RGB, what is the means of RGB? R means red. Okay, You should note this down on your notebook or whatever you use. Okay, अगर तुम इस चीज को नोट कर लेना अपने नोटबुक में. G means green and blue. B means blue. Yeah. और इसका जो भी रेंज होता है ना, that is up to the range of 0 to 255. So we have to give the values between the range of 255 और उस हिसाब से कलर डिसाइड कर देता है. So let's make it a comment. और यहाँ पे let us give a value of 120 because we know that 0 to 255, 34 and 67. Let's see what is the color. Yeah, so it is a very bad color. Okay, let's make it light, somewhere around like, yeah, this. And now the thing is okay. So what we have learned this time, the hard-coded color, the hex values and the RGB values. So you may check that how you are going to find what color do you want or what hex code do you want. ये ज़रूर सोच रहे होगे कि मैं अपना कैसे ढूंढूंगा. So I have a very cool tip for you. इसके लिए क्या करो, नया टैब खोलो, इस पर डालो color picker and after this hit enter. So Google give you the suggestion of this like this. So if you are going to Google this out, you are going to see something like this, and here you can choose your own color what you want. Okay, and let us suppose I want this color. So this is going to be the preview of the color. यहाँ से प्रीव्यू पता चल जाएगा कैसा है और यहाँ से वैल्यूज चेंज कर सकते हो कौन सा कलर चाहिए. जैसे मेरे को ये वाला कलर चाहिए और तो मैंने यहाँ का इसका ये हेक्स कोड है तो यहाँ से ऐसे करके इसको कॉपी कर लिया और कॉपी करने के बाद आई केम हियर और यहाँ पे मैंने इसको करके यहाँ पे पेस्ट कर दिया. Oh, we are having two things. Yeah. And now as you can see that the things changed. Why not change? I'll tell you because we have overridden the values. हम लोगों ने एक ही प्रॉपर्टी की 3 वैल्यूज दे दी जो सबसे अपडेटेड है वो चल रही है. अब ये चीज चल जाएगी. Yeah, as you can see. So this is the color. So इस तरीके से आप अपने कलर हिसाब से निकाल सकते हो. Okay. This is the thing. Now the another thing is that I want to also discuss is opacity. So opacity is something that is responsible for the transparency. एक तरीके की transparency दिखाता है. So 0.0 से लेकर ये 1.0 तक का वैल्यू रहता है. ये इसका रेंज होता है. So let us suppose if I give the opacity of 0.4, so you will see that its opacity changed, right? Yeah. Now as if I give 1, so 1 means the default one and 0 means completely blank. Okay, fine. So I'll make it 1.0, that is the default one. Okay, so this is all about background color. So this is something that how you can choose your colors and all this stuff. Okay, now if you're going to have a div or anything else, you can change by the same thing, right? Using the background color property, you can change. So let us move further. So we have learned background color, right? So the property background color is used to set the background color of HTML element. वो HTML element के background color को set करने के लिए काम आती है, right? Syntax is something that we have discussed. For example, like this, the values can be varied colors, names, color code, like hex values and RGB values that we have discussed. Right. The transparency of the background color can be adjusted using the opacity property that we have also discussed. Okay, so the value of opacity can be vary from 0.0 to 1.0. Okay, this is cool, I think so. And the lower value will have more transparency as we have seen. And this is the example that just like we have discussed. Now, let us move ahead to our new property that is background image. For that, let us have a div. So I'll have a div and I'll give it a class of container. Inside this container I am going to have HTML heading container, and now I'm going to have a paragraph tag and I'll write text container. Okay, so heading container and text container. This is going to be cool. Now as I selected this, now if I write dot container, so inside this dot container what I want, first I want a background color. because it is going to differentiate it from it. So let us try a random value 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and E. Okay, well, it is really very bad color, but no worry, we will change it by using this, and now it is going to be look like cool. Also, I am removing this paragraph tag because this is looking weird, and now you can see that this is our div that we want. Also, what we want to change its width to be somewhere around 600 pixels, let us suppose. So now it is only in the 600 pixels, and increase its height to be around 700 pixels. So it will be look like really bad. Let's move it to be something around 500. Okay, so we are just discussing about what background image. So background image is something that just like background color, we have given the color to the background. Just background color में मैंने color दिया था. Same as that. If I'm writing background image, तो ये क्या दे देगा? Image दे देगा. तो इसका syntax होता है background जो है, उसके बाद एक URL एक function होता है. We have a URL method that we have to call. उसके अंदर मेरे को URL देना होता है. तो सबसे मैं डाला background images, and if I hit enter, तो मेरे को कुछ ना कुछ तो बैकग्राउंड इमेज मिल ही जाएगा, जस्ट लाइक दिस. ओके फाइन. नाउ let us have this one. Okay, let us have this one, and I'll just copy image address, and then I'll come to here, and inside as a string I'll paste it. And now as you can see, we are having a background image, right? This is the thing, this is the property of this is the value of css. Okay, but remember, in if you are using the background image property, choose the image that actually have a combination with your text and a background, because you cannot use a dark background image. Let me show you, like rock background dark. So let us suppose if I am going to have, yeah, if I'm going to have something a background like this, just wait a second. Okay, let it be loaded. Yeah, so this is something called that I want to show you guys. So what background image, the thing. Okay, so you have to pass the URL and all the things are going to be okay. Yeah, so now it is loaded. Now let's copy image address, and if I'm going here and I'm just overriding the values. So if I write background not color image, and then URL, and then control V, and if you see, it looks like hell, and we don't have our text. We cannot able to see our text. So this is a very bad practice. Don't ever try this. Okay, so I'm just control Z. The things happened here. Now let's move to us. Let's move to our presentation. So the background image property is used to set an image as a background of any HTML elements. Okay, fine. So it is actually used to set an image inside the background. By default, the image covers the entire element. By default, क्या होता है? जो image होती है पूरे element को cover कर लेती है. If the element size is small, the default image is repeated in the entire element. Let me show you what it is about, what it is saying. So I'm just removing this property from here, control X, and I'm applying this in the background, the body. So if I write body, and if I write background image, and then URL, and inside this if I write this, okay, give me a second. Why it is not applied? Okay. Oh yeah, because of this. I think so now it will be apply. Yeah, now the things are going to be okay, and if I open my localhost 5500 and if I hit enter, you see, wait a second, I'll do one thing more. I'll remove the background colors of the things that we have done here. Now as you can see that the image is repeating itself, like this is the original image and then another repeating. So अगर image छोटा होता है तो वो अपने आप को repeat करने लगता है कितना whole document में. Same as that यही बात लिखी थी, by default the image covers the entire element. If the image size is small, अगर वो size छोटा है तो by default image is repeated. Okay, the image that has to be set as a background has to be located in the same project folder. So we have used this particular method, but also we can use the relative URL type of thing. Okay, so this is the example of background image. Now let us understand the next property, that is background repeat, that actually takes as a what that encounters the facility of having this. So our next property is going to be background repeat. So let us suppose we are having different values. So if I write repeat x, so what are you seeing? It is repeating only in the x-axis. So what is this? Is y-axis, this is x-axis. So अगर मैंने यहाँ पे repeat x लिखा तो ये केवल x-axis पे repeat होगी. Same as that if I write background repeat and if I write repeat y, so ये केवल y पे ही repeat होगी, वो x पे repeat नहीं होगी. और ये चीज देख लो वो अपने width के हिसाब से ही हो रही है और उसमें अपने height के हिसाब से हो रही थी. Okay, so this is going to be matter. Let us suppose if I write the default property, that is repeat, so then it is going to be take like this. This is the default property of the background repeat. And the next thing is that we can use this background repeat and we have to write no repeat. So by using this our image is not going to be repeat. What I am done is that I am just overriding the values. You don't have to write all these things. You can just comment it out and it is going to be work like same. ओके फाइन. तो ऐसा होता है ना कि जैसे माने एक के बाद एक मैंने चीज लिखी, ठीक है, तो ये वाली जो प्रॉपर्टी है ना अब ये नहीं चलेगी, अब ये चल जाएगी. तो एक के बाद अपनी वैल्यू को ओवरराइड करता है. द वैल्यूज कम्स आफ्टर दिस इज गोइंग टू बी ओवरराइड द प्रीवियस वैल्यू. So if I applied the repeat after the repeat y, then repeat is going to be applied on this thing, not repeat y. Okay. This thing. So let's have. So repeat horizontally means repeat x and repeat vertically means repeat y. Should not repeat means no repeat, as we have seen. This is the property of no repeat. It's not repeating itself. The position of image can be specified with the help of background position property. That is going to be our next property, like how the things are going to work. So let's have something. So if I write background and if I write position and if I write top, so as you can see it is not on the top but in the center. तो ये सेंटर से लेगा, सेंटर के हिसाब से ये अपना वो चीज चूज करेगा. सो लेट अस सपोज इफ आई राइट लेफ्ट, तो यू कैन सी ये लेफ्ट में है लेकिन ये सेंटर के एक्सिस पे हो. ऐसे ही इफ आई राइट राइट एंड बॉटम, सो राइट बॉटम क्या होगा, ये होगा. तो यहाँ पे राइट है और ये बॉटम की तरफ है, ये थोड़ा सा नीचे है. अभी मैं यहाँ से बॉटम हटा दूं तो देखो क्या होता है, ये केवल राइट पे आ गया, ये बॉटम पे नहीं गया. तो दिस इज द वे जिसपे हम लोग अपने बैकग्राउंड की इमेज को पोजीशन कर सकते हैं. ओके, दिस इज द थिंग, बैकग्राउंड पोजीशन प्रॉपर्टी. नाउ लेट्स मूव टू आवर नेक्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी, दैट इज बैकग्राउंड आफ्टर द बैकग्राउंड रिपीट, दैट इज बैकग्राउंड अटैचमेंट. लेट मी शो यू. सो एक काम करते हैं, सबसे पहले खूब सारे टेक्स्ट ले लेते हैं. सो सेम काम करेंगे, पैराग्राफ इनटू let us suppose we are going to have 50 paragraphs and यहाँ पे लिख देते हैं sample paragraph. if I hit enter, so मेरे पास 50 पैराग्राफ ऑलरेडी रेडी आ चुके हैं. so as you can see ये जो हमारी बैकग्राउंड प्रॉपर्टी थी हमारे साथ स्क्रॉल हो रही है. ठीक है, अब मैंने यहाँ पे एक काम करा, मैंने यहाँ पे एक चीज दी बैकग्राउंड attachment. So I've used the background attachment and if I give it a fixed if I keep this fixed, and then if I'm going to scroll, you will see that the background is still on its place and we are going to move our content. Okay, and but if we give scroll, then you are going to see then it is scrolling with our content. So this is the property of background attachment. So background attachment property specifies whether the background image attached should be scrolled over a text. It should be fixed size. Okay, so iski do thi, fix and scroll, that we have learned this far. Now here comes the background shorthand property. Okay, but for that purpose itself I have to show you something. Now you must be weird that let me control Z. Let me just make this comment. Now you must be wearing that if we want to select the whole document's background, how we are going to do this. So for that thing we have the property that is called background size. So if I write background size and if I write contain, what you are going to see? Now it contained whatever the thing, it has contained the thing, contained the full background. So what contains does is that it expands its width, and how much it is going to expand, it depends on the width of the image and the document. So it depends on the width on the document. But to what you can say, but to actually fill the whole part of the thing, we are going to use the cover. So let us suppose if we want to make a background color of the document like this and it should be fixed like this, so what you are going to write? अगर हम चाहते हैं कि ऐसा कुछ background रहे हमारी image का, let me show you something. So let us have light bulb, white background. Okay, and not like this, class C. Because I don't know what to search. Not like this. So let us suppose, no, not like this. This best interior. Oh, let me show you something. I am having a website that is unsplash.com. Okay, so Unsplash is something that is a combination of somewhere around millions of images that you want, and it is actually completely free. So अगर मैं यहाँ जाता हूँ, यहाँ मैं search करता हूँ background, and if I hit enter, so I'm going to see many options of the background like this. So let us choose what type of background I want. So yeah, so let us choose this one. This one is looking so cool, and it is so cool. Yeah, it is cool. So I'm copying its image address and pasting it. After this, I can also just cut down and this, but for the sake of the practice, not background color, I'm using the background image, and then URL. Inside that, Control V, and then you are going to see I'm having this, and I have used this cover, right? And now if I use contain, let's see what happens. It expands, but depending on the width, as I told you. But if we have to cover all the things, we are going to write cover, and it is going to cover these things. But what we want this to be our body's background color. So for that purpose, we are going to write background attachment property. So I'll write background attachment to be fixed, and after I rated this is our now website's background, and whatever the content I'm going to have, this thing is going to be fixed. Okay, so this is how you can set the background. Now last but not the least, we are going to have a background property. So whatever the thing we have learned here, whatever the different properties, we can use it in a shorthand property. What is the shorthand property? This shorthand property, that is background. Sorry, yeah, that is background. So what it does is that the first parameter, that is take its background color. So let us suppose I want the background color to be somewhere on RGB of, and A also I can write. So A is something that defines the opacity. So let us suppose, let's have a different color. So I'll go here and I'll write color picker, as I told you that we are going to have a color picker. So let us have a something like yellowish. Yeah, and I'll copy its hex color. So I have copied this hex color and used here. So what is the first parameter? First parameter is nothing but the background color. Then the URL of the image. So let's choose a different image. So light background image, and if I hit enter, so I'll have a, let's have a white, let's aside whitish like this. Yeah, it would be a type of a pattern and it would be good. So let's copy image address, and inside this URL property I'll write this thing. Now what we want something which is called the background repeat property. So we don't want it to be repeated, so I'll write no repeat, and then the right and top, that is background position, so I'll write top, and if I'll hit enter, you will see this thing has been happened. And now, because this is something a default property that I want to show you, that this is the shorthand property that you can use, but also it depends on you, right? If you don't want to write this, you don't have to write this, and it is going to be work fine as it usually work, right? After this, what you can write also is that you can give a background size of 100% also, I think so. Let's see what happens. So this is its 100, and if I write 140, let's see, nothing is going to be happen, no problem. What we know that cover, background size cover, it is going to be cover the things, and then what we want background attachment, and what fixed, and hence we are having a background set, and that's we were wanting. So thank you everyone for having this video, and if you are going to have any of the doubts, the discussion forum is open for you, and keep learning. Thank you. So hello everyone, welcome back to the Css module.